In a previous video, we had a look at the scope of delivery as well as features and benefits in brief on this German manufactured Metabo 9115. Now in this video, we're going to have a look at the technical side of it, and the features and benefits will be explained in more detail, and you will understand why this is the top of the range when it comes to the one-hand grinders. Right, just to recap, scope of delivery in a cardboard box, side handle, guard, spanner, booklet. Having a look at the features and benefits on a technical level. Traditionally, your intake vents for the cooling are on the back of the machine over here, and when people put their hands over it left or right, very often for safety required to wear gloves, they close these vents and the cooling is compromised. The cooling vents have now been moved to the back of the machine, so you can actually hold the machine like this, grinding it without a side handle, and you still get maximum cooling efficiency through the machine. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the carbon brushes. Your power goes through the carbon brushes onto the armature, which causes the spinning. However, when the carbon brushes wear out, they start arcing on the cable of the brush, which causes damage to your commutator on your armature. Now, this machine is fitted as standard with auto-stop carbon brushes, and what that does, when one of the brushes goes to the minimum level, it has a little pin that pushes it out and moves it away from the commutator, which breaks the flow of current through it, which just stops it from spinning. This protects your commutator and your armature, so you have a longevity and your service bill is much lower because you're just replacing carbon brushes, which is like tires on a car. The next thing, this machine is fitted with a marathon motor. And what a marathon motor is, the windings on the field coil and the armature are epoxy coated. And this being a metal grinder, you're grinding steel and you have all these steel particles on the table. When you put it down before the disc has stopped spinning, very often the intake vents pick up this debris and send it through the machine. And that becomes really abrasive on your brushes as well as your windings, cutting it away, ending up causing a short. Now, by epoxy coating it, you're protecting all your windings. That's what we refer to as the marathon motor, which increases the service life of your motor inside. The next thing is this particular grinder, the German-made W9115, has the narrowest waist in its class one-hand grinder. And how this was achieved is by the patented technology split field coil of Metabos. You wind each half, you're not winding it as one, which allows you to make a much tighter winding, less air in between, better for cooling, and it also allows you to increase the diameter of your armature inside the field coil. Now, by increasing your diameter of your armature inside, you're giving it greater leverage. And the greater the leverage, the greater your torque. Now, just like when you want speed, you want power. When you want to tow a caravan or a boat, you want torque. Now, with a grinder, cutting or grinding, you want stock removal. You're taking your abrasive through the steel, you want torque. By increasing the diameter of the armature, you increase the leverage, and we have achieved a 50% increase on torque to the predecessor grinder. It also makes this the highest torque producing one-hand grinder in this 900 watt class at 2.1 Newton meters. Sorry, 2.5 Newton meters. Right, the next thing, this motor then also gives you a 20% more overload capacity. This is also achieved with this split field coil, and you need to understand that 80% of an angle grinder's life spends in overload capacity. So by giving this a 20% increase in overload capacity, it increases the service life and the longevity of the grinder. The next thing I'm going to refer to or talk about is the S-Automatic safety clutch, and Metabo are the innovators of this, and we have over 50 years of experience on this. And how that works, your spindle in front here has a factory preset friction torque setting. What that does is when you exceed that on load, either grinding or cutting, it stops and stalls your abrasive. However, your motor continues spinning. Two functions to this. The one is it protects you as the operator because it won't shatter or disintegrate your abrasive wheel, protecting you as the operator. Secondly, by stalling the disc but motor continues spinning, you need to understand the fan, the cooling fan on here is directly connected to the motor, the armature, and if that continues spinning, it means even while stalled, the cooling is 100% efficient on a machine like this. So again, protecting you as the operator and protecting the motor and its cooling. That is the safety, automatic safety clutch. Next thing is ergonomics. You will see the front of this machine is perfectly square. So these 4 screws over here, when you remove the guard, you can loosen them and then rotate your gearbox through 360 degrees in 4 positions. Now what that does is your switch over here for right-handed people or left-handed people, you can move it to the left or the right, or for ergonomics, if you want it on top or the bottom, you can rotate it through. It also then allows you to put the side handle in all 4 positions. Now, very important, you may do it yourself. You don't need to bring it into a service agent. What is most important to remember, when loosening these screws, do not pull the gearbox out, because then you dislodge the bearing from the gearbox, as well as the brushes come unseated from your commutator. All you do is remove the screws, keep it in position, just rotate it gently through 90 degrees at a time, and relocate your 4 screws. Right. Last thing is the guard is a spannerless adjustment over here with a thumb. You just pull that back and you can rotate the guard through 360 degrees. Quickly going through the specs of this machine. In this, guys, the machine weighs 2.1 kilograms. The cord supplied is 2.5 meters. It has an M14 spindle. The RPM is 10,500 at no load speed. It is a 900 watt motor and has an abrasive wheel of 115 millimeters. I hope you found this informative, this video. Please go to the angle grinder demonstration with Barry Hilton, where we do physical demonstration of installing this machine and other demos.